Alright, today we're going to be putting on these Bulletproof Designs Fork lug guides. Should be pretty straightforward. These are going on my TE 300 Pro. We got this one for this side. And this one will be going over here. So it's looking like I'm going to need to remove the wheel and able to get this on. I can't shimmy it between here, but I'm wondering if it's still going to fit with the disc cover on. I guess we'll find out. We'll get the tools all set up to remove the front wheel, and then we'll put this on. I'm not quite sure why they didn't just make it bolt to the front lugs here like they do on the other side. It looks like it's going to mount up with the axle nut and the bolt that goes to the brake caliper there. But hopefully I can still use the disc guard with it on. So we're going to use this out of the tool pouch it came with, because it's just handy to do. Start by removing the axle nut. Loosen the fork lug bolts. Loosen the other side fork lug bolts. Make sure they are all the way loose. We'll use this axle puller. Pull that axle. Put it aside. Set the wheel down. Now, the only problem with this is once I have this mounted up, is I can't get to the lug bolts to torque them. Might just have to use a wrench, but I'd like to use the torque wrench. We'll see. Alright, so yeah, the only thing we're going to be able to do is we're just going to have to use a wrench. But you're going to want to leave that back bolt, the caliper bolt, a little bit loose so that you can get your axle through there and get that nut where you want it without having to fight everything. We're going to clean off this axle and re-grease it real quick before we put it on. Use this Maxima waterproof grease. That's what I use on everything. Grease up the axle. Set it aside.
Right there.
Now, sometimes this is a pain in the butt. Looks like we're gonna be fighting two things at once. Alright, so just for all you guys that have this bike, ATM over there that comes with the stock front disc guard, it's not going to work without some modification. Looks like we're going to need to cut this whole piece out right here. Alright, so we ended up doing a whole bunch of modifications. We had to cut this disc guard and modify it so that it would work. Luckily, this is actually carbon fiber, so it's still strong. Stronger than those Acherbis or Acerbis, whatever you call that brand, however you pronounce it. Next thing we did is, I don't know why Bulletproof Designs doesn't do this in the first place, but we drilled some holes here so that we can actually access those bolts. Because I want to be able to torque those down to the actual spec of what they're supposed to be. And I know some of you are going to say, well, you could have just bought the Bulletproof Designs one with the disc guard built in. But that only covers the bottom half. It doesn't come up here at all. And I don't like that. I like how this one comes all the way up. I think the bottom half not only looks ugly, but I want the whole thing covered. So there's that side and all the modifications we had to do to make it work. Still looks pretty good, and it's still sturdy. I'm gonna start putting this one on. Another thing I noticed is you got your rebound adjustment on the bottom of this one, the hole, so you can access it. I don't know what Bulletproof Designs is doing, but there is no hole to access this one at all. Maybe I should have drilled that one out as well. But we'll save that for a later date, and we'll drill it out just like this so that we can access our rebound adjustment. So we're going to put this on. All you got to do is remove these bolts, put these ones in its place, and then I like to follow the manual and everything. Take the bike off, push down on the fork several times, put it back on the stand, torque everything down, and I will show you the final outcome after that. Okay, we took it off the stand, pushed down on the forks a couple times. Now we're going to torque these pinch bolts. The torque spec was a 15 Newton meters. Ends up being 11.6 foot-pounds. And you don't just do one and then the other. Make sure they're somewhat equally tight the whole time. So you want to alternate. Get this side snug. And you know, I don't know why Bulletproof Designs didn't just make both of them the same way. Maybe there's a reason behind it. Maybe we can tag them. Maybe we can get an answer. But where this one mounts there, this one mounts here, and the brake caliper bolt, I'm not quite sure what the reasoning was behind it. Shh. Put that crosslink components SXS skid plate on, and I gotta tell you, this thing is sliding all over the stand. Unable to get the wheel back on, I had to strap it down to the stand so it wouldn't move anymore. Thinking I might have to do that again. Alright, there's one click. There's two click.
That better not be the good water. What?
Alright, there's that side, it's all torqued down. Torque this one.
It's the good one.
There's one click. There's two click. One click. Two click. Alright, let's just make sure this is tight too. We don't want that coming out. torque down all of them. I'm gonna do the brake caliper bolt one more time. Make sure it's, oh, that was loose still, so good thing we checked. Okay, tightened it off. So, yep, modifications I made, how to cut this out so it fit, because I do not like the half one that's built in with Bulletproof Designs. I drilled the holes to get access to these. I'll have to drill a hole for the bottom one eventually to get access to the clicker, because that one's already has a hole. And so that's the final product.